My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And notify me if you know of anything going on. There is nothing happening in the world of Doctor Who as far as happening. There's people complaining about the Doomsday comic that came with Doctor Who magazine. I would say came, but didn't come free. Oh my god, they charged what, £11 for that Drek? I know people. There's a lot of complaints about that, but just disinterest, right? That is what I see in the world of Doctor Who right now. Just this complete and total disinterest, and it's not just in the fandom world, right? The fandom world, yeah, people are trying to feign like, oh god, I'm excited about this. Nobody really is, right? Nobody really is at all. I'm talking about the normie world. The normie world, it's just gone, right? Completely and totally gone. No interest at all, right? None whatsoever. Because every day I check articles, I go, and it's like, there's less interest right now than when Jodie Whittaker was Doctor Who, because when Jodie Whittaker was Doctor Who, there was a kind of a need on behalf of the media, especially the fan media, to pretend that she wasn't a complete and total failure, right? There was this like you'll see that in the fan media in the Indiana Jones reviews, which look, I saw that movie. It is dire. It's so bad, right? It is so incredibly bad. Look, that whole movie, to my mind, is setting up Phoebe Waller-Bridge to be a stunning and brave new action hero, which she isn't. And she has a couple of action scenes, and she just isn't, right? And they make her the most awful character, right? They're really the most awful, obnoxious, nasty character. And somehow she's a hero. It's like, I don't understand. Well, I do understand. Unfortunately, it's the same as pretending that Jodie Whittaker was anywhere in any way, shape, or form okay as Doctor Who. No, she wasn't, right? And so it's died an absolute death. But you do see this need in the media. Oh yeah, because that was like the first thing, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, because we can only have female heroes nowadays, especially masculine heroes, right? If you want to see a really good female hero who's feminine, go and check out Silo. It's on Apple TV. It just finished. It is so worth the $6-7 for the a month subscription. That's fantastic. So that stars Rebecca Ferguson, who was from Mission Impossible. That's the first thing I saw her in. And she's like, that's fantastic, right? Okay, it's a completely diverse cast, and it's not like relentlessly whacking it in your face. Like, hey, we're not racist. Hey, we're not. Which is what I feel like I see from most of Hollywood, right? Because they are all racist and sexist. That's why they got to keep screaming and they're not racist and sexist. That's like that we're going to be dealing with it. Anyway, so that was the first part. And the second part was just like an absolute hatred for anybody who didn't vote for Joe Biden, right? An absolute bile and hatred, and like essentially saying that they're Nazis, right? Not essentially, explicitly, right? Explicitly calling them Nazis. It was dire, right? So you had people protecting it. So you had the same with Jodie Whittaker, right? When Jodie Whittaker was Doctor Who, there was lots of articles going around because people wanted to pretend that she wasn't a complete failure, right? Now David Tennant's Doctor Who, and people know he's good at Doctor Who. But there's no interest, right? There's really zero interest, so nobody's even trying to feign any interest. And for me, I am convinced, right? And I'm convinced because it's part of my own personal worldview and prejudice, and people like to be validated, right? People like to think they're right, myself included, right? I forgot. I totally forgot where it was. Oh yeah, it was. It basically you had the Doomsday thing, which is. It's so much worse than you would think it was. Like it could possibly be. Say the same about Indiana Jones. It's so much worse than you think it actually could. Same thing about Jodie Whittaker, right? So you had that. Then you had Jinx Monsoon. Jinx Monsoon. I'm sorry, came out the exact wrong time. Dragon's under attack! Screamed the likes of Rusty Davis. No, parents just don't want this weird kink rubbed in their children's face and pretending it's normal. It's not. Kink is something for private. Sex is something for private as well, right? But I think that, and I think it happened at the exact moment where culturally normies had enough, right? Bud Light was the thing that broke the camel's back, and they ain't going back, right? This has not been a good Pride Month if you're a prideful person, right? The June did not work out well, right? All the corporations walked it back really quickly. And you know, I think Rusty Davis was attacking fans a little bit on social media, and honestly, I think that comes from a desperation, because look, they have very much hitched their horses up to Disney, and look, the epic failure that is Indiana Jones. I don't know what the result is going to be from it. Will Disney survive it? Will Kathleen Kennedy survive? I mean, you know, she survived everything else. I don't know why she wouldn't survive that, but that's the story going around where we're going to be looking at. So yes, it is a mishmash of Doctor Who and other genre stories, because I'm not interested in Doctor Who right now. Basically, it sapped my interest, if nobody else. Like, I got a 2 box sets from Big Finish sitting there for me to listen to, a Tom Baker one. I tried through the first story, which was mediocre, and I saw that I got another 8 episodes of crap to go on, like, it just sapped my will, right? So I got that. I got a master box set to go through. I can't do it, right? I can't. So we're going to going in an eclectic mix of other things, and I think generally speaking, we're going to be moving more into general science fiction, you know, and genre, because stuff that interests me. I'm just bored to tears with this chicks with dicks Doctor Who, like. Okay, Russell, I understand you really like being fucked by Jinx Monsoon. I really get it, right? I get it that you really liked fucking Ncuti Gatwa, which I'm sure you did. My God, all these stories coming out from Rusty Davis era 1, where he was shagging everybody, like Ben Cook, like everybody. Now, I didn't know they did that. Frankly, I don't know if my parents had sex. I've never seen them do that, and quite frankly, I'm quite glad for that. But, and if anybody's got any videos, keep it to yourself, mate. Keep it to yourself. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Oh, Ben Cook and Russell D. Davis, or my parents. Either one. You can keep them all to yourself. It's totally fine. Anyway, splattering news to go through the stories. Before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things. Fandabby double dozy, baby. Fandabby a double dozy. Thank you very much. Sign up my Substack, because, I'm really there. Coming out, I think today, right? I think today is going to be my, what's it called in? The subscriber exclusive of getting this as a book on tape, as an MP3 form with AI Colin Baker reading it. This is Millennial Rights by Craig Hinton. Passed away, very, very sadly, passed away. Great book. It's so 1999. It's so like Y2K. It's really good. Sixth Doctor, Mel, Valiard, great intelligence, computers at the turn of the century. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So that's going out on my YouTube channel. I was working on that yesterday as well. But it's going out today for the subscribers. Going out in installments on my YouTube and wherever else. Twitter and Rumble channel. Although my videos on Rumble don't do that great. My live streams on Rumble, they do well. This is why this is live streaming on Rumble right now, even though I pre-recorded it. You know, live streams do really, really good. Videos, not so much. I don't really see the book on tapes doing great on Rumble. And also Twitter. Look, Twitter, firstly, what the hell's going on with Twitter? There's like, you can look at, I'm a verified, so I can look at 600 tweets a day or something. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with that. Something's going on. So that there's that happening. But if you want to be a YouTube competitor, which you keep saying you do, you got to build that, right? You can't just say, I'm going to put videos on the timeline. No, you need to have some way to like be able to search and find them if that's the way you want people to do it. That's the way to do it. Anyway, fine, let's start looking at that. So everything is in the video notes. Like, share, subscribe, go to Rumble. Rumble's great for me, so please subscribe over there. That'll be Fandabby double dozy. Let's have a look at some news, right? Collider, Doctor Who comes to Doctor Who Comic Con with exclusive pin set and more. Fuck me. That's the best you can come up with? Exclusive pin set and more. I remember the day we would get like exclusive character option action figures that you would... Like, what was the... I can't remember. Was it the Cybermen ones? I'm looking at my shelves trying to remember what was the exclusives. But they were so cool, right? They were so incredibly cool. And you would clamour to get them, right? Pin set? Who gives a shit? And that's where we are with Doctor Who. Who gives a shit, right? Who gives a shit? Doctor Who comes to... I mean, this is such an odd story. The story is, it's a pin set. Now, the truth is Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con is over, right? Netflix, Disney, Universal... not Universal, Warner Brothers have all said, oh, bye-bye, yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore, right? Because the superhero thing is over, right? It's over. Maybe the movie industry as well. Although... Mission Impossible will do gangbusters. That is my prediction. Why? Because it's a good bloody movie. I mean, by the looks of it. I mean, all the other ones have, right? I might go back and watch Mission Impossible. Oh, you know what? That might be my little plan over the next few weeks. Go through all the Mission Impossible movies before we get to, what was it, 6, 7, 8, 14? I don't know. Even the first one's good, right? Even the first one is good. They get better, right? They do get better, but I love a bit of Mission Impossible. That's going to do gangbusters, I think. And also... Tom Cruise hasn't gone all right. I mean, look, he has a weird personal life, like the Scientology stuff, and it's all strange, right? It's all strange. Yeah, allegedly, I've never met the man. Okay, we're gonna get Doctor in a second. Fun Tom Cruise fact, right? I used to live in Bushey, in London, right? It's the most north part of London before it stops being London. If you're Jewish, you know Bushey because that's where the Jewish synagogue is. Not Jewish cemeteries. There's Jewish synagogues all over. The Jewish cemeteries. Anyway, my local blockbusters, that's how far we're going back, right? Apparently Tom Cruise lived near me because he was filming there. He was out in the sticks. This was back when he was married to Nicole Kidman. He went to Blockbusters to rent a movie, but he didn't have enough ID. They wouldn't let it take it out. It says, I'm Tom Cruise. He picks up what was it? What was that movie he picked up? Allegedly, the cover, the one with Demi Moore, where he's in the Navy. You can't handle the truth. That one. Whatever. He said, "Look, it's me." They still wouldn't let him take out a movie. That's hilarious. If I ever meet Tom Cruise, I want to know if that is true. Right? I want to know. Now, okay. Enough talking about interesting. Let's get over to the boring piece of shit over here. Doctor Who comes to San Diego Comic-Con with an exclusive pin set. Doctor Who take a trip to San Diego in the TARDIS and get these new collectibles ahead of San Diego, ahead of the Doctor Who 60th anniversary. Why do they make David Tennant look so much older? Mega Geek pointed that out to me the other day. Fans of Doctor Who rejoice. Really? Rejoice as Titan Entertainment has some new goodies for you. The merchandising arm of Titan Entertainment unveiled a new show-related merchandise that will be exclusively available during the upcoming San Diego Comic-Con. While most studios like Disney, Marvel Studios, and Netflix are sitting out Studio 8's presentations, and honestly, that's just good news for comics, I have to tell you. Get all these things out of them, and we can get back to having... Oh no, they killed the comic book industry as well. Never mind, that was good while it lasted. Of fan conventions due to ongoing WGA strike. No, it's not because of that. Which looks like we'll soon be joined by this SAG AFTRA. Yeah, okay, put all yourselves out of work, right? Really, it's not like none of you are replaceable. And script writers, the shit you have done over the last few years made you so replaceable by ChatGPT. I mean, you are so unbelievably replaceable by ChatGPT. I'll still look at capitalize and merchandise immersive experience in comic books and graphic novels. Really? I doubt it. So Comic Book shared the look at the collectibles, which include a 13-piece TARDIS enamel pin collection and vinyl figures of David Tennant's 14th Doctor. Nobody gives a shit. The TARDIS, why don't we have pictures of it at least, right? I mean, that's how much nobody gives a shit. We don't even have pictures of it, right? We're up to the TARDIS enamel pin collection is extremely limited because nobody wants it. Will only be available during the fan convention. Furthermore, the 3-inch tall vinyl figure of the likeness David Tennant will be available in 2 variations: Kawaii 14 and Classic 14th Doctor. What's Kawaii? Again, who gives a shit? No, is that Kawaii or is that Classic? That looks like... I don't know. Is that Kawaii? That could be Kawaii. And oh, here's the pin set. Fuck me. This is... Oh, look, of course you get a pink TARDIS. Well, yeah, obviously. Well, at least that comes from Happiness Patrol. The show's been running for 6 decades. Can only muster up this shit, really. Change is an inevitable thing, despite changing faces of its lead characters who can regenerate. Directors and writers have entertained several generations over the years, until the recent one, garnering much fanfare and critical acclaim. The series will mark the milestone with three special episodes. We'll see David Tennant return to the titular role of the 14th Doctor, not the 10th, with exact dates unknown in November. Blah blah blah. Okay, so let's have a look. So we got. I guess that's classic, right? I guess that's what Hawaii, whatever it is. That's the box. And can we zoom in on that? Okay, so we got 12 pins and something at the top. So I see the flowery one, which was like remembering Clara. We got the War Doctor one, all scarred up. Happiness Patrol, of course. The pink one, Happiness Will Prevail. Again, I so deeply don't give a shit. It's unbelievable how much I don't give a shit. Previously trailer, blah blah blah. This is all Yasmin Finney, blah blah blah. Chicks with dicks. Okay, yeah, synonymous with Doctor Who nowadays, isn't it? If you're heading to San Diego, Python booth, no, yeah, boring. Okay, boring. Nothing happening. Right. Next story. I don't know. Doctor Who Neil Gaiman responds to writing future episodes of Doctor Who. Nobody really knows right now. Like, the only person we know is writing for Doctor Who is Ross T. Davies for the next 2 years. Right. Nobody really knows. Man, I was so excited for this era, right? I was so really excited for this new era, and that has just leaked away. Another thing that I found has just ebbed away my excitement is the lack of costume for Ncuti Gatwa. Now, I liked his casting, right? I thought, he looks fresh and exciting. Then I saw him act. I was like, ooh. You know, I saw the Shakespeare thing he did for the King's Coronation concert. I went, ooh. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I just assumed he would be good. I don't know. I have no idea what to expect, right? I don't like them completely changing costume every episode. I think that's a real duffer of an idea, right? I really do. Now, who else is writing for this new era? Again, we don't know. Is Neil Gaiman coming back? One great story, one story. I mean, I don't know. Nightmare in Silver isn't bad. It is. But it could have been better, right? It could have been better. Neil Gaiman, who wrote for... I mean, that was the one where they wanted to try and make Cybermen scary again. It really didn't work. The one that made Cybermen scary again was World Enough in Time, right? When they brought back the Mondosian Cyberman. A Mondosian Cyberman. Oh! I love hearing Capaldi say that, right? It's so great, right? And I love the whole thing with Bill. That genuinely made Cybermen chilling again. It's like, what, the third or fourth time up to bat for Moffat, and you finally got it right the last time, right? But that was really good, right? That was excellent. Neil Gaiman, who wrote for Doctor Who during the Matt Smith stint as the Doctor, addresses whether they'll be writing future episodes of Doctor Who. Well, he's answered. He said, I don't know. I mean, right, that's the whole... really? Is there anything more to go over? Neil Gaiman responds to whether he'll write more episodes of Doctor Who in the future. Gaiman wrote during Matt's... You just said that! Okay, with The Doctor's Wife, good episode. Was that the exclusive? Was it the junk TARDIS? I got that right up there. It was something, alright. I can't remember. Oh, I really can't remember. I remember everybody being really excited. Here, one second. Shall we just look up? Hang on. Let's have a look. Let's see if it comes up. SDCC exclusive Doctor Who figures. Do we have any of them coming up? Not pin set. So let's look at images. See if anything rings a bell. Was it Time Crash? Oh, I remember the black and white ones. Yeah. I got those right over here. Let me see if I can grab them. The black and white. Oh, I can't reach it. Come here. You know. I see a Troughton. I would bring over the Cyberman, but that looks pretty much the same. The black and white ones that came out, right? Oh, these were gorgeous, right? Could do with a bit of a polish. But I do kind of... Was that the San Diego? It was that sort of thing. Well, the blue-coated Doctor. That could be it as well, right? Again, this was when Doctor Who was popular, right? And like, this is how it's not popular now, right? It just isn't. So yeah, I don't. Fine, let's go back. Anyway, Dr. Nightmare and Silver, as well as DVD mini episode. What was the mini episode? It was like a addition to the Doctor's Wife or Nightmare and Silver. I think there was an opening that they couldn't do, and that was for the iPlayer, I think, and then eventually put onto the DVD and Blu-ray. Meanwhile, the upcoming Shooter Gatwa era Doctor Who will see Russell Davies returning as showrunner after he first served from 2005 to 2009 with lots of chicks with dicks, right? Lots of chicks with dicks. With Davis set to make a sensational return. I thought so, right? Audience security of Gaiman may also make a return behind the scenes. Gaiman recently responded to one such fan on Tumblr. Really? Tumblr's still a thing? I had no idea. Okay. One such fan on Tumblr indicating that while he's unclear about penning another episode of Doctor Who, he has a good reason for being okay with not being invited back. Check out his statement below. And on Doctor Who, I don't know. I love being in the Doctor Who audience. I'm really excited to not know what's coming. Oh, so therefore he's not been asked, okay? Neil Gaiman's Doctor Who, right? Okay, really? Really? Okay, do we know when, what's his name? The Good Omens is coming back. Given his busy schedule with the Sandman and Good Omens. Sandman, I you know what? I'm going to give that a pass, right? It was okay. Some episodes were okay, right? Some episodes were okay, but the comic book was much better. And the very, very black Death, now Death in the comic, if you don't know, was this super, super white goth woman. And and then Neil Gaiman actively wanted this black woman to be cast by Death, and just saying, I don't understand. Why is anybody saying anything? It seems, because you're being a twat, Neil, right? That's why. Where's Good Omens going? Good Omens should be back pretty darn soon. Here, 1 second. We'll have a look. Good Omen Season 2. When's that? That's oh god, another month. I thought it was like the end of July, beginning of June. Okay, so when that comes back, we will be reviewing it. All right, we'll totally be reviewing. So when is it coming back? Who knows or dares to dream? More spin-off nonsense, right? They keep doing spin-offs. Let's see what they're gonna wheel out this time. Cancelled Doctor Who series makes a best Disney Plus spin-off idea way more likely. Really? I don't know. Again, it looks like they're losing 200 million with Indiana Jones. I think that's going to have repercussions, right? It's like Disney just this year, have lost, on their movies alone, 1.1 billion, right? Now you factor in they're going to be closing Galactic Star Cruiser, the Star Wars hotel that cost, I think, 2 billion, right? 2 billion to make, and people don't go to it because it's shit. But bottom line, everything has a Kathleen Kennedy insert into it, right? Indiana Jones, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Star Wars, Daisy Ridley, even Galactic Star Cruiser. Do you have a picture of her? 1 second. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Captain. This is, when you see it, you'll go, oh, right, yeah, 100% Kathleen Kennedy insert. I mean, she's blue, but, like, it's like another one, right? Another, like, okay, Kathleen, you must see yourself in everything, right? And there she is. And, like, why wouldn't people be lining up to see this? Because nobody gives a shit, right? Because it's not Star Wars. Okay. So Riversong audio spin-off is coming to an end ahead of Doctor Who's Disney Plus debut. Is there coincidence or is Riversong spin-off on the way? Well, no, I think it's coming to an end because it's not financially viable anymore, right? I think the sales have petered out, and that's why it's coming to an end, because people don't buy them. Because they're not very... It was a short idea that has run out of steam, right? It was good for the first few box sets when they had Riversong meeting other doctors. And here, have a quick look. And even when I say good, yeah, let's not go crazy. It was okay, right? It was deeply, deeply okay. Let's go. We'll just do Riversong. River Song. Doink. Diary of River Song. Yeah, this is where it became boring. Sort by oldest first. So yeah, the first one was kind of good because you met with you had a fake doctor in it who was very good, and Paul McGann. Second series, they worked out a way of putting in Sylvester McCoy and Colin Baker. Again, okay, $40 for that? Absolutely not. Then you had the fifth Doctor, Madhu Kavorian, in the third one, and the fourth Doctor. And that's basically where they went. And why they didn't do Tim Trelaw's third Doctor. Oh, they did another, and that was the last good one, right? So then it was a bunch of different masters. Then it was River Song stepping into old episodes of Doctor Who, or like peripherally. The weirdest one was Web of Fear, where they had Captain Knight in it, who was like, a young man in 1960, whatever, 8. And now he sounded like he was 108, because probably he was. So that one was, by season 6, it was over, I would say. Weeping Angels, let's put that in when you can't think of anything else. I stopped buying it at that point. The robots, oh look, K9 and Mechanoid, stopped buying it. Yeah, didn't bother that one. This was fun, the new recruit, where she ended up working in unit, right? So they had the third Doctor. Why they didn't do a set with the first Doctor and the second Doctor, I don't know. They had many different options, but they decided not to, right? And because it's run out of steam, right? Yeah, look, all these ones are like... Yeah, I'll be amazed if any of these make any money, right? I think this last one is probably the last one that did. I don't think it's strong enough to get by on Alex Kingston alone, right? I think it needs Alex Kingston and some kind of gimmick. So therefore, it was a shoo-in for Disney Plus. The cancellation of the long-running Doctor Who series that on expanded media makes popular Disney Plus spin-off idea an increasingly likely possibility. No, it's proved to be financially unviable. However, I say that, right? But Marvel Phase 4, Phase 5, which has been a complete disaster, was tested in the comic books and it had exactly the same effect. Complete and total failure. Didn't phase Disney at all, right? Did not in any way. Oh yeah, let's do that on film, and the same thing happened, right? Secret Invasion's on. I reviewed the first episode. I couldn't bring myself to the second. I just couldn't do it. I'm bored to tears by it. And that's Disney Plus for you. Fans have eagerly anticipated the Russell spin-off's arrival, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Russell T. Davies repeat. That's back when we're excited. That's over, right? That is over. Rusty Davies has really stated his own vision for Doctor Who in a post-MCU world, seeing the potential as a big sci-fi friend. Well, he did that in his original run. He had Torchwood, he had Sarah Jane, he had Doctor Who. He made a cinematic universe, and it did it before Marvel, and it worked, right? So they're talking about a Jenna Redgrave unit. Oh, so boring. So boring. It's so boring. No, I mean, go ahead. Look. Yeah, 1 second. Disney the Marvels. They just put out a new poster for the Marvels, and boy, nothing can make you not want to see this movie than the new poster. What's it? Marvel's new poster. It's genuinely funny. Oh, I can't find it. It's so crap. Right, it's genuinely so crap. It's like so, and they put it out the week before Dune because they want to try and hide it. What they should have done is release Indiana Jones on a BitTorrent site so they could blame it on pirating, the complete and total failure. Right, maybe save some face. But if they were that inventive, maybe they would have made the Indiana Jones movie. That wasn't awful. Audio production company Big Finish announced that Alex Kingston's Diary of River Song will end with season 10. They would still be making Jago on Lightfoot today. Why? Because people liked it. If what's the name? Lightfoot was still alive. Released in 2023, August 2023. The show's began in 2015. Professor Riversong, we've already gone through it. Various enemies, well received, blah, blah, blah. ER, Alex Kingston, blah, blah, blah. How long is this going for? Okay, not that much long. It's a dumb idea. No. There's not, there might be. I don't know why I'm saying emphatically no. I'm using logic and reason. That makes no sense. During Rusty Davis' first era, he was a regular contact with Big Finish as they tried to avoid overlaps. Well, no, it's part of the creative process. They had to be, right? Oh, yeah, I missed a paragraph. 1 second. The Doctor Who Diary of River Song Season 1 was released Christmas Day 2015. It was, and again, 2015, back when we were happy. Back before the dark times, before the Empire. River Song's Big Finish ending just month before Doctor begins. Streaming feels important. No. In terms of modern series, Big Finish generally uses characters that are for their type. Well, it's part of the contract. For example, they'll launch the spin-off series of both the Fugitive Doctor, Joe Martin, and the Master later in 2023. I would love to see those sales figures. I would adore to see those sales figures. Now, they probably filmed like 2 box sets of them to make it viable, but I would love to see those sales figures. Man, good luck. Good luck with that, Big Finish. So during his era, he was in contact with them. Well, again, they still are, right? The new Disney Plus era Doctor Who could finally have the long-held theme of a River song. It's not really. It's not really. A River spin-off must avoid mistakes with her character. Well, what's that? Okay, tell me more. Although the idea of River Song's creator, Stephen Moffat, the Diary of River Song's reliance on her interacting with past Doctors reduced the character slightly. They had to do that because nobody would buy them because she wasn't strong enough. I am sorry. Frankly, I find, what's the name of the actress who plays Yvonne Hartman? I find her a much more compelling character. The Torchwood 1 stuff is genuinely good, right? I really like that. And also, I don't know. What's here? Let me look up Torchwood 1. What's the name of the bloody actress? Torchwood 1. Right. Machine. That was a good one. What's her name? Tracy Ann Oberman, right? I also find her quite. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Alex Kingston, lovely looking woman. Tracy Ann Oberman is hot. I mean, she is just smoking hot. It just does it for me, baby. I don't know. Maybe it's because she's Jewish, right? You go for So this one's really good, right? There's also got Yanto in it, right? What year did this come out? 2018. Yeah, this was before the real dark times set in. Are there more Torchwood 1 here? How do I get to it? Torchwood 1. Let's see what else they got. And before the fall. I didn't bother. I kind of gave up after latter days. But again, man, she's smoking hot. But yeah. So again, I found her a more compelling, interesting character because she was a villain, but when she was leading the story, she had to be, a hero, or at least anti-hero. So that works. I mean, that's why I think the Master stuff works. I mean, I like seeing what the Master does when he's not fighting the Doctor. And it's he does basically the same things with the Doctor, just evil, right? The best one is the Derek Jacobi one in the Land of Fiction. That's freaking awesome. I love that during the Time War. Although interacting with reduce the character, rather than being a time-traveling archaeologist with dubious morals, River was defined by being the Doctor's future wife. Listen, you want a good time-traveling archaeologist, Bernie Summerfield, right? That's totally the way to go, Bernie Summerfield. So anyway, are they going to do a River Song spin-off? I don't know. Again, you don't shackle yourself to logic and reason. Whoever saw the script for Indiana Jones and went, oh yeah, that we're going to put 300 million into that, then another 150 million into marketing. That's money well spent. We're not going to burn that away. Whoever said that might say yes to this. You don't know. Again, don't use logic and reason as your guide, right? That will not be your friend. Fine. So here's the story which is going around. I hope it's true. Indiana Jones box office disaster puts Kathleen Kennedy's job in peril. So this is the 6,723rd room of Kathleen Kennedy's demise.
the dirt that she must have on someone or a lot of people. I mean, she must have pictures of them fucking kids. I mean, really? That must be what's going. That's the only thing I can. Literally, she burnt Star Wars to the ground and still has the smug smile that you saw on Phoebe Waller-Bridge's face all the way through Indiana Jones. God, her doing the action hero stuff was grating. It was like it was absolutely grating. It's awful. Later in the installment, also debuted Day and Date with international box office. Well, they do that everywhere now. When it's hoped it's had at least 80 million for its for a global start of around 145. Did not make that. It did worse than Black Adam and The Flash, right? It did worse than The Flash and cost 100 million less than The Flash. And it did worse than The Flash, right? Will Barbie do well? I'd love to see that tank. Oh, I would love to see that tank too. Wouldn't that be great? What do you reckon the odds are that the Dickless Kens, Ncuti Gatwa and Ryan Reynolds, who is it? Gosling? Is it Ryan Gosling? Are gonna have a sex scene. I think it's reasonable. I mean, they're gonna deal with something like that, aren't they? I think so. Despite how Deadline and Variety tried to spin it, those ticket sales are poor. They didn't make 145. It was 130. It was worse than that. They're admitting to 295. It's probably higher than that. So with the marketing and everything, you're probably looking at a minimum price tag of 450, which means they need to make about 800 to see a profit, right? They need to make 800 million to see a profit. And again, can you see this? The Forces female idiot idiot t-shirt she's got on with a bunch of women. How'd that work out for you, darling? Well, it worked out fine for Kathleen Kennedy. It's me I got fucked over, I think. There's a movie's probably going to need to make about $1 million just to break even. Now there's rumors via WDW Pro. That's actually quite a good source. That Kathleen Kennedy, head of Lucasfilm, is facing calls to resign within a company. Well, I mean, listen. When what was it? Ant-Man tank. They got rid of what's the name? Alonso, right? Who basically carried the can for that, right? When Flash failed, they both Netflix and Warner Brothers got rid of their DEI. I think what's the name? Victoria Alonso was the DEI person, the diversity, equity, and inclusion officer. I think they all just went like right. Like she might go right. It at this point it might be possible, but survived everything else, hasn't she? Will she take the fall? John Noto thinks the opposite will take place. Well, I think he might be right. I mean, honestly, do you not remember the Rise of Skywalker? Right? I mean, listen, they were able to like laugh off The Last Jedi, like toxic fans, and because it made money, right? Because people went to see it without expecting it to be as awful as it was. But they saw that with they felt it afterwards, right? The Rise of Skywalker was a disaster. Solo lost money because of it. I think it destroyed the franchise. So Kathleen Kennedy will earn another massive promotion because that talentless woke franchise killer has been failing her way up the chain of command for the last 15 years. That is true. I mean, at this point, she's the only promotion you can get is be commander-in-chief of her Majesty's naval forces, won't she? I don't know. She's already killed Willow. I mean, yeah. How much money? I forgot about that. How much money did they spend on Willow? that got removed from the service. That's pretty bad. I'll have to tell you though, I am somewhat heartbroken. Two things that got removed from streaming services, which I loved, was Westworld. I'd love to see another season of that. And Raised by Wolves. I love that as well. Also removed from the service. Oh, breaks my heart because I thought they were great. I thought they were absolutely fantastic. The same that Star Wars survived the dreadful fate of the George Lucas prequels. Is she proved capable of killing the same Indiana Jones that survived the Crystal Saga? That is true. That would probably make her the president of Disney or even president of the United States. Well, that all does make sense, right? That seems to be the way things are going. He's being sarcastic, but even in the best circumstances, it will take heroic feat and a lot of nostalgia and long-time fans of the series for Indiana Jones 5 to turn a profit in its theatrical. It's not going to do it, right? I think losing 200 million seems reasonable. And oh boy, when is that next investor call? Whoa, that's going to be somewhat insane, right? That's going to be insane. Rotten Tomatoes has it between 58 and 68 on the critics, although the audience score still has it as 88%. Weirdly, right? Weirdly. So who knows what's going to happen with that? But please, everybody, listen to Gal Gadot. I know she's nice to look at, but listen to her as well. Thank God. Thank God there's somebody out there like just saying truth that is good to hear. So Gal Gadot rebukes Hollywood's misogyny narratives. That moviegoers do not want to see do want to see movies with women if the story is good. Yes. Yeah, again, Phoebe Waller-Bridges, Helena Shaw was like nails on a chalkboard. She came in as a cunt con woman, remained a cunt, was like she actually said she's brilliant, she's like beautiful at one point. Darling, no you're not. I mean, no you're not at all. Gal Gadot, who stars as Rachel Stone in the upcoming Netflix movie Heart of Stone, recently shared comments that rebuke the Hollywood misogyny narrative. Speaking with Vogue in Hong Kong, or Hong Kong Vogue, I don't know what Hong Kong Vogue is like, about Heart of Stone, Gal Gadot was asked, how important is it to portray these types of women? What do you hope audiences take away from your performances? Gadot responded, great question. Well, it's funny. I guess I got lucky playing very strong, powerful characters. Well, that's not entirely true. I think you imbue those characters with strength because I think she's basically a strong, powerful one. Look, she's like most Israeli women, right? And also, they're normally a little bit more attractive than her. And I'm not even joking. Come and visit Israel. They're all hot, right? Everybody is attractive, right? And they're all equally self-assured. Really, really strangely, but they are, right? Gal Gadot is a very normative example of Israeliness, right? Is Israeli womanhood. How important is it? Says good question. Well, it's funny. I got lucky playing strong, powerful characters. Heart of Stone was something I always wanted to do. I always felt that I was a big fan of genre. I'm a big fan of Mission Impossible and Bond movies, and I never had the opportunity as a girl watching myself in one of those. Well, no, she's played action adventure spy roles before, hasn't she? I think she's built for it, right? I'll check out this movie. I'll totally check out this movie. I was also wondering, is there room for something like that, but female-driven? It's got to be female-driven. Again, you want to see a great, feminine, female hero, Silo, right? Silo, Rebecca Ferguson in that. And again, she's playing a woman, right? Who's not like, and it's not like, oh, a man with tits, right? No, she actually plays somebody who's female, and it's brilliant, right? It's really good. I really recommend that show. Ends on a great cliffhanger that doesn't make you feel gypped, right? And if you feel like you get resolution on lots of the many mysteries in the story, but opens up to a whole new world of mystery in the last minute. It's really good. Am I selling that to you strong enough? It's really good, right? It's really good. She continued. And I think I got my confidence only after Wonder Woman came out. Well, look, Wonder Woman 84. You should take some of that confidence back, darling. Because this huge success. Well, no, you were in the Fast and Furious movies, right? You were very successful in those, right? And honestly, she was great at Wonder Woman from the first moment. Like in
Batman versus Superman. She was the best thing in it, right? She was absolutely fantastic, and I like that movie. I'm sorry, okay, the Martha bit was cringe, but everything else was. I like the bat suit. I like the Superman Batman vibe. You know, I like Wonder Woman. I fought things from other worlds before. It's great, okay? It's really, and it was a genuine tonal alternative to Marvel, which was also great at the time, right? But interesting enough, looking back, if I'm going to watch Captain America Winter Soldier, which was one of the better Marvel movies, or Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, or Justice League, Batman vs. Superman, I think is a stronger movie, right? I think it stands the test of time better. And I understand that might piss a lot of you off, right? It was like the thing that proved to me that, wait, why do people say that men don't want to see women? They do want to see movies with women if it's a good story. That was the point. Wonder Woman was a great story. The bit where she finally stepped out onto the trench, when she felt like she earned it, right? And she went on a journey. And not only that, right? It wasn't a man with tits, right? It was a feminine female character. It was a feminine hero. And it worked because the story worked, right? Adventures of Bernie Summerfield. I already mentioned it. Go and check that out. That's the thing. There is lots of great female-led genre, right? Which is good, like genuinely good. If the action's there, if it makes sense, they're all for it. That is true, right? And we really were all for it. After Wonder Woman came out, Yaron, my husband, who was also my partner in my production company, we had a meeting with David Ellison, and we had a great time. Woo! What do you bouncy castle? Well, that'd be funny if that's what they meant by a great time. Anyway, at the end of the conversation, David asked me, what do you want to do? Why don't you start off with that? What do you want to produce? And I told him I want to produce female-driven action film, one that's exciting, globally scopy. So we shook on it, and now here we are. And I'm very grateful that we have such great partners with David, Sundance, and Netflix. It's a great opportunity. When's this coming out? You totally sold me, darling. You probably sold me to start with. What's the name of this thing? Heart of Stone? One second, let's have a look. Heart of Stone. Heart of Stone release date. And I will do a trailer reaction tomorrow on my live stream. August 11th? Okay, I'm there for you, darling. I'm there. Okay, you talked me into it. I hope it's good. I also got to see the Chris Hemsworth's one. There's two of those. They look good. Okay, let's go check that out. Not only did Gadot rebuke Hollywood's misogyny narrative in regards to moviegoers, but she also rebuked Hollywood's gender swapping. Let's go with that. Should we just read it over here? Yeah, we'll just read the story over here. They're all for it. Gender swapping trope. She told Total Film via Hollywood in Toto. Okay. Toto, it's a twister. I want to do a great story about female characters doing it in an action genre, right? She's thriving, but at the same time, how many times do they just switch gender? It's so lazy. You're so right, girl. You're so right. It's so lazy. 100%. They take a story that's all about the men and they just change it to woman and then they go shoot it. To me, it was very important, the DNA of Heart of Stone, to make the DNA of Heart of Stone a little difference because men and women are different. Oh, God, everything you say, Gal Gadot, is fantastic. It's fantastic. Listen, if you were, want to come and, explain this to me personally. I'm in Israel too, darling. It's okay. I'll close the curtains. We'll lock the door. Nobody will know how you'll convince me to watch these movies. But I'm all ears and any other part of the anatomy you want to try and impress on me, darling. Sadly, doesn't really need to do that, does she? It takes a story, all about men. So I want to do something different. And again, that's what I think made Silo work. Because again, it was a female character built from birth. Also, one of the gender swaps they did in Sandman, again, which I thought was reasonably crap now in hindsight. But one that worked was Lady Joanna Constantine. She already exists in the comics. But Jenna Coleman made it a female character, right? It wasn't a woman playing a man's character. It was a female character, right? Men and women operate differently. Heart of Stone's official logline states, Rachel Stone, Gal Gadot, is an intelligence operative, but the only woman who stands between her and powerful global peacekeeping organization and the loss of the most valuable, most dangerous asset. What? The only woman who stands between her powerful global peacekeeping organization and the loss of the most powerful and dangerous asset. Who's the only woman? Okay, fine. So she's super important, right? Netflix's Tundrum's Tara Bitran also states Stone is a member of an exclusive, mysterious group of elite spies known as the Charter. I mean, listen, I hope it's not like Citadel, which I never finished watching because weren't very good. Although I did like what's name, Prira Shopurara. She was hot, so I was like, okay, I'm on board. In the trailer described as the most highly trained agents, no political leanings, no national allegiances, working together to keep peace in a turbulent world. Okay, we'll have to... It's talking me out of it now. To achieve their lofty aims, those agents rely on a one-of-a-kind asset called the Stone. If you own... called the Heart, right? If you own the Heart, you own the world. He controls the paradox... What was it? Pandorica controls the universe. So you own the Heart, you control the world. Rachel Stone's MI6 counterpart, Parker Jamie Dornan, explains in the trailer that sounds a bit like a plan to Kaya Dwan, who played by Elia Bahat, whose quest to find and control the Heart threatens global stability. It's sounding shitter by the minute, but I'll do a trailer reaction, right? You're talking me out of it. Can Stone stop her before it's too late? I don't know. Can Gal Gadot stop Hollywood before it? No, it's not. It's already too late for Hollywood. As for what the Heart actually is, Bitron relays the Heart is the world's most powerful AI, able to keep track of everyone's entire online history. Yeah, really, most of us want to keep that to ourselves. Everyone's entire online history, and then use the data to predict what they might do in the future. Probably watch porn, right? Okay, this AI will be like, yeah, I think the men are going to watch porn. How do you predict that? Oh, I'm just a clever AI. How could I work that out? But it's not about predicting how many episodes of Queen Charlotte you might watch in one sitting, or what you make for dinner. Heart can advise responses to global threats and even deliver odds of success in neutralizing them. That's where the Charter comes in. Okay, the film's visual effects supervisor, Mark Brexpear, added the Heart is also called General AI, an AI that can do anything you want. Oh, so it's like magic, in other words. That can do anything you want it to do. It becomes the master of that immediately. So it's kind of like Joe 90, right? It's a Joe 90 AI. Now, why has nobody done a Jerry Anderson cinematic universe? No one has built a general AI yet. It's connected to a quantum computer, which processes way faster than an ordinary computer. The Heart is tasked with monitoring all human data, and this AI is like, you understand, like 90% of this is porn. Right, can we just not deal with that? And you can do me on a Commodore 64. I'll be fine, right? No, we'll keep you on the quantum computer. But really, because I don't like having to watch all this porn. You shut up, Mr. AI. Okay, we need to predict the future. The future is they're going to be watching porn. I'm like, well, okay then. I'm glad you can predict that. It's connected to a quantum computer, monitoring, analyzing, looking for patterns, and using patterns to make predictions. The Charter uses the Heart to look at it in any given situation, their options on what to do. Alongside Gadot, the film stars Jamie Dornan as MI6 agent Parker. Alia Black, okay, we already said that. It also features Sophia Conido, who was in Doctor Who in... what's the name of it? The cartoon one with Richard E. Grant. Scream of the Shulker. Right? Scream of the Shulker. Matthias Schlewinger. Jing Lucy and Paul Reddy. Comes out on August 11th. Okay. So, Carl, you started off good, darling. You started off good. Then it kind of all just fell apart. Let's look at one more story before we go, because this I find absolutely so indicative. Right? This is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny star Phoebe Waller-Bridge says punching out the titular hero was glorious because it was so funny. Was it so funny when you lost $200 million, darling? Was that so funny? Oh, I had a bit of a laugh there. I did have a bit of a laugh. In a sentiment that can only be borne out as unhealthy obsession with identity politics, the story subversion Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny star Phoebe Waller-Bridge has declared the scene where her character punched out the franchise's namesake was glorious because it was so funny. Yeah, it was glorious because it's so funny when James Bond tanked as well and everything else, you fucking touch, you piece of shit. Oh, she's so annoying. By now, whether through leaks or have seen the film themselves, audiences are more than well with Phoebe Waller-Bridge's textbook girl boss moments in Indiana Jones. There are so many of them. If you're unfamiliar, because this is your official spoiler warning. Yeah, so at the end of the movie, essentially, the movie had like 3 endings. One where they spent all the money on, where young Indiana Jones meets old Indiana Jones, and old Indiana Jones mortally wounded, but young Indiana Jones dies, and so Phoebe Waller-Bridge has to step into time and become young Indiana Jones, right? Do all the things and then the ending titles would have been her doing all the iconic Indiana Jones things, like, you know, running past that giant boulder and stuff like that. That's really what they were going to do. Yeah, no, that 100% was going to happen. Then, yeah, I don't know what the other one was, but the one we saw was they went back in time to meet Archimedes, and Indiana Jones is mortally wounded, said, just let me die here, because they... Well, one of the shittiest things about this movie is they make Indiana Jones's Twilight years shitty, right? He's an old, miserable, broken man living in a shitty little apartment in New York, being disrespected, and life is generally shitty. And then he meets his friend Sulla, who's a old, broken down man living in a little apartment in New York, whose life's generally a little bit shitty, much like Luke Skywalker, except that he's on Ahch-To instead of New York, right? It's and so he has. He's divorced and getting divorced from Marion. His son died because he enlisted in Vietnam because he hated his father. It's just also an awful, right? Indiana Jones should have had a glorious retirement, living in some, you know, villa in Florence, right, some sultan's estate with Marion. And then when he had to go back for this last adventure and put his hat back on again, he would have something, he had to leave, right? But that's not the way they wanted to have a shitty, horrible life. And so he's in history, he's been shot, he's dying, right? And by the way, back in 2069, he's wanted for multiple murder, and he's doesn't have anything, right? He said, I just want to stay here. And she said, no, we need you, Indy, we need you, because I know better. And then she punches him out, and he wakes up. He's like, what the hell? And it turns out that, but I'm Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And she's grinning all the way through. Oh, God, it's so annoying. And she's got Marion back, and they're back together again, because she's Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She solves everything, because she's the bestest ever. So far, so then she knocks him out because it's stupid, right? Where's the quote? It's insulting to imply Jones would even consider making such a self. No, I think he would have just like, I'll be there and I'll just die and stay out of the way of history. So comes to the feed. What a bridge praise! It's such a brilliant cut, and it's such an excellent scripted moment. Nothing about that was excellent scripted moment,
and particularly because there's so much fighting and left hooks all the way, and all that stuff all the way through the film, where you feel that when you feel that she's just fighting the bad guys. You're okay, Phoebe. Whoever told you were good at this, they're lying. They're lying to you.
And then they're not being nice. Right, you're not good at this. Rebecca Ferguson actually is good at this. Like, she can do the actor stuff.
And also, she's actually can act as well. That's something you might want to look up how to do, right?
But to have to punch the hero of the film, it was glorious because it was so funny. Oh, fuck me. I can't imagine feeling like such a pathetic, spineless, empty loser. Right, that punching out Indiana Jones is what you have to do to make yourself not feel like a pathetic, spineless loser. Informed that the entertainment news outlet audience at 2 separate screenings supposedly loudly cheered at the moment. Nobody did. No, unless they were paid to. The Fleabag-styled laugh. Underneath, it was all. It's really had heart and emotion. No. Again, darling, your movie is losing $200 million.
Your movie is losing more money than most people see in their entire life, right? It's a total failure, and it's your fault. Let me be clear.
And that's a really testament to Jim Mangold, shortly to be unemployed director, and the Butterworths, Jez and John Henry, for writing a moment like that. I hope the audience understands why she does it. Yeah, because she's a cunt. Right? She's a cunt. That is why she does it, right? And it's not hard to work out why she does it, Phoebe, darling. We can easily believe you playing an obnoxious cunt. You know why?
You're not a very good actress, darling, and that's how you come across.
My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Join me. We're back live tomorrow at 5 o'clock UK time, where we'll be having fun, frivolity. Look in the video notes. Sign up to my Substack. We're going out today is the first chapter of this. I got the second chapter already of Millennial Rights, as read by an Colin Baker. It's a deal. It's a steal. It's the sale of the fucking century, mate. Sign up for it. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Have yourselves a freaking awesome day.